I'm in the mood, I'm feeling rude, I'm feeling hot, I want to run. The feeling exciting, so darling, let's do something. I wanna rub my body on your body. Body on your body. Let me rub my body on your body. I wanna rub my body on your body. I wanna rub and love up. I wanna rub and kiss up. I wanna rub and jam up. I wanna rub and rub up. I wanna rub my body on your body. Rub my body on your body. Let me rub my body. Rub my body on your body. I just get paid. I want to play. The vibes is right. I wanna hug up tight. No time to waste. I wanna work my ways. So come on now, babes. Give me a taste. I wanna rub my body on your body. I wanna rub my body on your body. Let me rub my body on your body. I wanna rub my body on your body. I wanna rub and love up. I wanna rub and kiss up. I wanna rub and jam up. I wanna rub and rub up. I wanna rub my body on your body. I wanna rub my body on your body. Let me rub my body on your body. I wanna rub my body on your body. Well, you know, I'm feeling, 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 I'm feeling. Smoke in my brain, I wanna do my thing. Work up a sweat until I soak in wet. Rub your body, show no mercy, because I'm feeling tipsy, I'm feeling freaky. I wanna rub my body on your body. I wanna rub my body on your body. Let me rub my body on your body. I wanna rub my body on your body. I wanna rub and love up. I wanna rub and kiss up. I wanna rub and jam up. I wanna rub and rub up. I wanna rub my body on your body. I wanna rub my body on your body. Let me rub my body on your body. I wanna rub my body on your body. down, come down.
It's been a long time, it's been a long time, it's not a before time. It's been a long time, it's been a long time, it's not a before time. It's been a long time, it's been a long time, it's not a before time. Long time got them lang loji, now you got them bongolo. Long time got them lang loji, now you got them bongolo. It's been a long time, it's been a long time, it's not a before time. It's been a long time, it's been a long time, it's not a before time. Long time got them dirty down, now you got them concrete road. Long time got them dirty down, now you got them concrete road. Long time got them dirty down, now you got them concrete road. Long time got them dirty down, now you got them concrete road. This time a long time, this time a long time, this not a before time. This time a long time, this time a long time, this not a before time. Long time got them jug lamp, now you got them electric light. Long time got them jug lamp, now you got them electric light. This time a long time, this time a long time, this not a before time. This time a long time, this time a long time, this not a before time. Long time got them broad bottom, now you got them tight straight. Long time got them broad bottom, now you got them tight straight. Long time got them broad bottom, now you got them tight straight. Long time got them broad bottom, now you got them tight straight. This time a long time, this time a long time, this not a before time. This time a long time, this time a long time, this not a before time. Long time got them broad churia, now you got them bamboo jai. Long time got them broad churia, now you got them bamboo jai. Long time got them broad churia, now you got them bamboo jai. Long time got them broad churia, now you got them bamboo jai. This time a long time, this time a long time, this not a before time. This time a long time, this time a
All right, hey, guess what? Good evening. My name is Mark Benschop, and it's kind of like an impromptu. It's a last minute kind of something on 107.1 FM to give you guys information, right? That is what we are about. So do share the link. I know some of you might be at boat rides and all these things because I saw out in Brooklyn, those folks are out there on a boat ride enjoying themselves. I wish I was actually on that boat ride enjoying myself, but the ticket was $25 and they just don't offer discounts. So maybe next time. But good evening to all of you regular listeners. I know I see some of you there already who don't miss a show. I know some of you will be getting a Christmas present from me. Trust me, a Christmas present from me. I noticed Keith Williams is asking whether this is live. Yes, it's live. 10 minutes after 8 o'clock. It's Sunday. So it is live. Keith Williams, good to see you. Yes, it is live. Charlene Deuce 8210. Oh my gosh. She is all over the place. I saw her on a judge, not our local Guyanese judge from the UK, but another judge. A judge that actually sits in the courtroom. Guyanese are all over on everybody's page, man. So yes, to answer your question, I am live. You will get a chance to see me just now, mind you. You will get a chance to see my guest in a few minutes, the Member of Parliament, Dionarine Ramsarup. He's with me, and hopefully we'll join. We will get in contact, with the Shadow Minister of Home Affairs, Geeta Chandan. Yep, she will be with us. Hopefully we'll get through to her. So yes, it is live. It's not a rebroadcast or anything. It is live. And I'm not the person that's on the screen there. That photograph is the former finance minister. Yes, the former finance minister, Winston Jordan. And you know, recently Anil and the PPP, they have been talking about going after former officials of the coalition government. And this guy is one of them. This guy is one of them. Anil has been mouthing up himself again recently. I don't know what's happening with Anil, but something is definitely wrong with Anil. You know what I mean? Something is definitely wrong with Anil. I don't know. It's probably missing something, probably not getting something, probably can't get something done in terms of his work, mind you, at the office that he sits in. Don't be naughty because I don't want to go that route. I'm not that kind of guy. And this is not that kind of show, mind you. We have a serious show here, right? So I'm not insinuating anything at all. For those of you who might be thinking otherwise. Good evening to all of you. My name is Mark Anthony Benschop, and welcome to this special edition of Straight Up This Evening on this beautiful, it's raining where I am. I don't know about you guys, if it's raining or what's the temperature, what's the weather like where you are, but it's kind of raining where I am. Kind of like that kind of a weather, right? Good. All right. It's Sunday. As I have said, lots of things happening in Guyana. You guys already know this news. Paul Slow was arrested. He was assaulted. All these sort of things happening in Guyana, right? You heard about this matter. This young man was murdered, brutally murdered. And now I have some things to actually say about this. And this is sad. To begin with, this is sad. Should never have happened. Absolutely not. This young man, young businessman, his life snuffed away just like that. But I have some questions, though. Here why I have some questions. Before I get into that, those questions that I have, let me just say that earlier this evening, I got in touch with the relatives of this young man, the father, to extend my condolences to the family, because this young man, young, enterprising young man, should never have happened. Yes, Mark Benschop here. I'm just calling to extend my condolences to you, man.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I can just imagine how you guys are feeling right now. You know.
Okay.
Yep. Just stay strong and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mr. Prasad, just hang in here. Good.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. All right, I got in touch with the family members there, the father, just to basically extend my condolences to the family. This is totally wrong. It is sad. This young man seemed to have had a very, very bright future as a businessman. Very bright future, snuffed away. Anyways, before we get into our program, good evening to all of you again. Quinaries, Hanif, no rain in Deerfield Beach, Florida. Good for you guys. Good for you guys. It's raining where I am. Thank God the studio is not leaking. All right, so here what else? Here is something that is bothering me. This guy confessed to the crime, the murder of Chris Prasad. Supposedly confessed, mind you. I watched a video of that so-called confession. And here's why I say so-called confession. Because he was arrested. He was sitting on the bench at the police station. He wasn't interrogated by detectives. He wasn't read his rights to remain silent or whatever. Now, let me get this clear. I know the family members want justice. They should get justice. But here's why I think this is a cowboy situation. And why do I say a cowboy situation? Because if the police, if they are serious about solving crimes, then investigations should be conducted in a professional and proper manner in order to get a conviction. Now, they arrested this guy who is said to be a smoker. I don't know. Said to be a smoker. So the police at the inquiry section decided to take out their telephone, video this guy, and ask him what and what. But he made a few errors. He wasn't alone, or he probably may not have been the guy. We don't know. I don't know. May not have been the guy. There may be others, but his kind of so-called confession wouldn't add up in court. I'm telling you guys straight up, it wouldn't add up in court. And now I'm not just talking off the top of my head because I want to talk. It's because you guys know that this is my area in terms of investigative works and so forth. And so I know when a case will flop. And when it's flopped, it simply means that the family wouldn't get justice. They wouldn't get justice. You know what I mean? So I became I became a little worried about this situation. Mind you, let me just make it known that I'm not a lawyer, but I have done in terms of years of investigative work. So I understand when a case will flop. Now, here is the guy. This guy. I felt because our justice system and the police investigators, they're not doing a good job. There was no reason for that police officer, that policeman or woman who videoed this guy while sitting on a bench to ask him about a crime. I don't know. Something is wrong. And that to me is a false start confession. Listen to him deny everything thereafter. Just listen to him deny everything thereafter. I say this without not wanting to be insensitive towards the family of Christopher Prasad. They do need justice. I believe they should get justice. They ought to get justice. But I'm just talking about, thank you, Ms. Booker, the unprofessional behavior of the police officers in doing what they did and circulating that video and calling it a confession. Maybe they're happy about that. But if I were a judge and that came to me in front of the court, you know what I mean? I mean, hey, I don't know. Sometimes you're on air and people still chatting with you. I can't chat when I'm on air. I don't know. Some folks just got to understand that. I can't chat when I'm on air. Please do, this is not that other guy who that crazy here or whatever chat while he's on air. I can't do that, mind you. This is not the type of show for that, right? So back to this here. It is Erica English. I'm seeing you, Mickey Mouse Club. It's Mickey Mouse indeed, because that sort of confession cannot stand up in court. It will not stand up in court. Now let me get to my guest. He has been waiting in the background for a while. Our operator Lemon is back on the job. Quit one day, come back another day. Quit one day. I don't know. These guys are something else. Honorable Member of Parliament, Gianarine Ramsrup is with us again. No stranger to you guys. Good evening, MP. How are you, sir?
Good evening, Mark, and good evening to all your listeners, all your viewers on social media, and to everyone else listening across the different countries on your program. Thank you very much for having me again.
Hey, thank you so much. You know, I'm in the habit of calling you at the last minute, and you're in the habit of saying yes. And I want to salute you for that, sir. Let's begin with all the crimes in Guyana, accidents. About 4 or 5 persons died as a result of accidents over this Saturday and Sunday. What's going on in our country, Mr. MP?
So it's you can say simply say that there's a total disregard for the law, total breakdown of the law. We're not seeing the professionalism that was installed for the last 5 years within the police force. People are being promoted here, there because of friends and favoritism. So you're not having that kind of what shall I say? I'm a big supporter of the police force. I like the way they go. I know the pressure that they go under, but come on, I mean, you have to pull things into perspective. You have to get the officer on the road. I see we have some new speed guns, but yet things are still happening. The road network is very busy these days. Last night I've learned of an accident of somebody that I know. The full works auto guys. I mean, that was so sad. People. All we got to do is tell people. Sometimes you have to take these things in your own hand. You have to be careful. Take your time on the road. You see it every single day. I just mark what I do when I'm driving. I just step on it, slow down, go to the side, allow them to pass. You can't. I mean, it's hard sometimes to put the police under pressure, because as citizens, we try our best sometimes to touch the police and go around the different laws and whatever policies they have in place. So there's a difficult situation, and we need to be a little more stiffer with the law. we have to
So,
stop corruption.
yeah, too many people, MP, feel as though they're above the law in Guyana. I have seen videos where drivers talk to police anyhow,
Yeah.
curse at police, drive away from police, and challenge police that if they arrest them or whatever, they have somebody that they can call that's sitting in high office. I don't know. I know what I do know, though, is that these things ought to change. I was going to ask a particular question, but I'll save that for later. The crimes, the shootings, the killings, the robberies, all these things on the increase. Every single thing on the increase. It looks as though this current installed regime, they don't know what they're doing. It appears as though the current Minister of Home Affairs, the guy who sits there in that office, Robeson Ben, they're at a loss. They're at sea. They don't know what is happening. He has been silent. We only see him when a fire pops up. He rushes out there to pick up a hose and pretend as though he's out in the fire and all these sort of things. And even when he does that as a civilian, he's not reprimanded for doing fireman's work, as that firewoman was reprimanded for doing her job instead of being saluted and commended for such bravery. This young man, Chris Prasad, was shot and killed. I've noticed, obviously it is a senseless killing, but I've noticed that you guys in the politicians paid a visit. We see here that is, you're hidden from this picture, but you're there next to the leader of the opposition, Joe Harmon. You're there also with your colleagues. I see there in the glasses, the dark glasses, Shadow Minister of Home Affairs, Ms. Geeta Chandan, as well as Maureen, I believe her name is, MP, and also MP Dr. Karen Cummings. What was this visit like, Mr. MP?
Well, Mark, when we have learned about this, in fact, just a little correction, it's a murder. It was a bit of stabbing. We had to go and visit the family because of, it's in successive weeks, we have two young individuals that actually who are going to doing the work and business has been murdered and killed. We remember the guy with the motorcycle that killed at, I can't remember the location and his name.
And South
there, right?
Yeah.
And then this one now. So we kind of get worried, and we said, look, we're gonna go pay our condolences to the family and see whatever assistance they may need. And we had to look at it in general context because, as we said, the crime is on an increase. So we went down there with the family, get the facts for ourselves, find out what happened, how it happened. So people have to really be careful because, as you mentioned earlier, the guy he was smoking. You can normally see from that video that he's not a conscious man like you and I. You can see the way he speaks, how he's talking things that doesn't make sense. And your rifle makes some very strong point just now that you don't have to be interrogated to or a CID to understand what was happening there. The guy apparently didn't know half of what was happening, and he's probably covering for somebody. That's how it seems. No disrespect for the family, but at the end of the day, it will come out to light sometime because they have. I think the police have some footage of somebody more heavy, big individual, as they say. So we have to really, as the family, we express our condolences to them. We offer some assistance as much as we can if they need it. That's as much as we can do as an opposition. We have given, you spoke about the Minister of Home Affairs, we have given him so much advices. He's a bit of reluctant on talking to us and giving information. I don't know why they're so scared. And they feel like they are kind of like holding information back. Because recently we had a meeting. I was supposed to be at that meeting we wanted to find out exactly what's going on with the boarding of that police station, Breakdown Police Station, because there are a lot of questions surrounding that. One important question also we are asking him is that there's the police, the security council committee in Parliament. When is he gonna start that committee? And there seems to not wanted to start a committee, because that committee is very important. It is very important to us because that is where you have to lay out your 5-year plan in terms of security in the country. When we took over in 2015, Clement Rohi is the one who raised that to us, and immediately Cameron Trumpton activated that and laid out the 5-year plan of security in 2015 to 2020. And if they're being secret of what they're doing, then you're going to have these kind of poor governance of the security sector.
And not only that, Mr. MP, lots of question marks. Citizens wouldn't feel comfortable with what they're doing, because based on the evidence, it seems as though it is obvious that they have no policy, they have no proper plan. They have politicized the entire police force, corrupt the entire police force. Well, for the most part, with some senior ranks, mind you. I'm not painting the entire police force with this with the same brush. I'm not.
Definitely.
You met recently with some other your colleagues with the guy who sits there as Minister of Home Affairs?
Yeah, so we activate a meeting with him. He was politely enough to accept the meeting. But when my colleagues are there, and we ask certain questions, we wanted to get it was not that fruitful, because he was somehow reluctant to give information that we wanted to know.
According to a source out of the Ministry of Home Affairs, though, because we still here at 107.1 FM, we got our sources. And I heard that the meeting, forgive me, because Ben is notorious for this, the meeting broke up because of a particular incident.
So I think it kind of ended abruptly. I didn't find the details. What was it really, Mark? Because I was to be there and I had to go.
I heard that it ended abruptly because one of your colleagues wanted Ropes and Ben to address that particular individual as Honorable MP and not by first name nature. So Ben abruptly ended the meeting, but we're not going to get into that or to put your colleague on the spot.
So because there's a lot of question there, Mark, that we wanted to get out from that fire at Brick Dam. I'm sorry that we started with the border and we end up with the but and all is security matters, because I want our viewers and listeners to understand what we are dealing with as an opposition and the difficulties that we going through when we have to approach some of these ministers, because a lot of our viewers and our supporters are saying that we are not doing enough. You understand? But they have to understand the reluctance and the barriers that we are getting from these ministers, Like, for example, we want to know what's the future plan for that location of that police station. What were they going to do it? We want
you guys never get that answer from him concerning.
No, they talk about an international probe. We want an international probe too. But then if you remove the evidence, Mark, how can you get an international probe done? I don't understand that. You understand? So those are the things that we wanted to come up from there. And then if you look at the issue that you have seen two different views. I don't know if you understand that, because one time the fire chief is saying one thing and the police is saying another.
So the impression that you guys get, what you guys walked away from that meeting, is that Robeson Ben is not committing himself into saying that Brick Dam Police Station will be rebuilt at that said location.
It's kind of right, because he's not answering the question, and I think maybe you can come with the suspicion, and I don't want to put the suspicion as to be an evidence. You understand? But then we need to know, the public need to know what's happening. We know next thing you don't want it to come up on a big tree, 15, 5-story, whatever story of hotel you want to set up there, if you understand.
Well, look, let me look at this from this standpoint, the Honorable MP. I don't want you to broke up this interview, so I'll address you as Honorable MP.
That's okay. You can call me Ricky, Mark. That's okay.
I don't want to do like because Ricky is fine, Mark is fine. I understand that, but I don't see the big need to, in such a meeting, closed door meeting, to be addressing each other as honorable and these sort of things. So that kind of annoyed Robeson Ben, and he broke up the meeting. He's notorious when it comes to breaking up. But let me ask you this, though, or let me say this to you, that if the Minister, Robeson Ben is skirting around the issue as to whether Brigdam Police Station will be rebuilt at the said location. It simply means that they have ideas, they have intention not to rebuild the police station there. I'll be surprised if they do. But I wouldn't be surprised if Robeson Ben at a press conference says that they will put the police station on Homestretch, somewhere around Homestretch Avenue. Your take?
Yeah, well, actually, that is a suspicion we're getting, because if you're not going to answer a question and you know that you want to rebuild the station, you'll rebuild the station. But if you have other plans, then you're not gonna you won't answer the question. You understand? And that is what we're thinking, they have to understand that we are getting tech. Every day we improve on technology. People are getting smarter. Stop bluffing. If you're old and outdated in the system, step out. And that was one of the reasons why I think we filed a no confidence motion, because you can't have security in this country should be top priorities. Our citizens should be protected and should be at top priorities. Over the year, this last year here, we have seen it break. It's broken down. It's broken down until you have a high increase of crime, robbery. We see the judicial, the executioner style killing come back. We were talking about all these things, man. We wanted the people to understand what we were doing in the last 5 years.
Speaking of doing it within the last 5 years, Mr. MP, is that at one point in time you served as personal assistant to the Minister of Public Security. Now it's back to Home Affairs, but Public Security and Home Affairs, the same thing. What was the approach like in dealing with these crime situations under the APNU AFC coalition? Since you served as a one-time personal assistant to then Minister of Home Affairs / Public Security, Kemraj Ramjatan, in terms of the approach in giving information to the then opposition PPP.
Mark, if you go back to the parliamentary speech for the 11th Parliament, you will see every single question that is sent were answered. Every single one. We invited them to sit down on several boards under our government, and they refused. We never left the opposition then out of anything that we were doing. We were inclusive with them. And you know what? I think because they know they had a plan, because now they're not want us to be part of whatever they're doing. For example, we keep calling on the COVID-19 task force to be on the task force. They had their plan. But every single opportunity we had on state boards, and we invited them to come. We've written them their proof of letters that was sent to them to put members on these boards. Now, under the public security, we have several programs, Mark. We have improved on the CPG. The CPG, the Community Policing Group. We had a department under the ministry. We used to work in collaboration with the police force, hand in hand. We had a lot of donation, a lot of income to improve those things. So we used to work. We have the liaison officers who used to send in monthly reports to the minister of what these CPG are doing. And we had people who were sitting in different districts. We had something important, one, Mark, and this is what I want our citizens to understand. We had a CCSP program, the Citizen, I can't remember the other program, but it's called the CCSP program, where we were training the youths, at-risk youths. Like this guy that you see here that he's not known, that he's not conscious, we put him into programs like to do mechanics, body repair of cars, welding and fabrication and so on. We used to pick them out. We have over 3,000 youths were trained, and several different communities. So, and that has been shut down, Mark. That has been shut down. I don't understand why they shut down a program like that. So if you shut down a program, you can't get to the youths. It is going to cause a problem in society. We have seen the broken down of sports facility, ground. And recently, I see right where I'm living, not far from Enmore, where I grew up. I used to go do heavy martial arts and all this weightlifting and kickboxing and all this thing there. We used to be in that when growing up at Enmore. But I went there the other day, the whole fence of the ground fell out, the whole where we used to do the training, the whole place has been falling apart. Recently, I see now they started to develop it. But if you don't spend the resource on our youths, especially those at risk, then we're gonna have all these crimes and this petty robbery and simple, look how simple a guy gonna get murdered.
Exactly. Simple. For 23 years, we saw lots of young people being involved in crimes. There was no job, there was no proper training, absolutely nothing. People weren't given access, young people, that is, to go to school. All of those things changed in a matter of 5 years under the coalition government. That is the truth. That is a fact. And who wants to not believe it, so be it. Now, let's get back to this guy, Chris Prasad, murdered at the age of 21, a businessman, young businessman, enterprising young man. His life snuffed away by an individual. We're not even sure whether this guy is the actual culprit. I don't know. We have watched a tape circulating on social media that was done kind of like contrary to proper policing work. He was sitting there on the bench. The police asked him some questions, and suddenly that tape is floating around social media and giving the impression that it's a confession. But those of you, if you look keenly at that tape, it is not a confession. It is more kind of like a hiding. It is more kind of like a covering up for maybe others. I don't know if he is the culprit because he didn't answer proper questions. And if he didn't answer proper questions, then it leaves a lot of question marks still there. But getting back to this guy, I heard somewhere that his folks, his dad, his parents may have applied for a gun license since 2003. That's over 18 years now. At that time, this guy was just maybe 2 or 3 years old. What is your take on gun licenses taking so long? People who should be given gun licenses are not, but we're seeing scores of drug lords and other questionable individuals with gun licenses. They're running security agencies and all these things. What is the procedure? You've been there close to Ramjatan. Explain to us, please.
So, Mark, when we were there, when we took over in 2015, we have established the firearm board. The firearm board had I think it was headed by this guy that owned the flour mills, the manager there, Bart Sakai, who came across from the previous administration. Well, we have incorporated more persons. Like we had some lawyers on it. We have some doctors that do the psychology test and all these things and so on. So other than that board, the police supposed to, commissioner of police, supposed to, when they review the firearm, so it comes from your district, from the commander level to the livelery. From there, it will come to the firearm board. And from that, it goes to the minister for sign off and back to the commissioner of police to issue. Recently, we have found that it's been happening haphazardly, where the police can issue, because they're claiming that they act and so on. They have the power to issue the firearm. Under the same act, we have the board that can the minister can install a board to review the firearm to ensure that the right persons and appropriate person get the firearm. But when you have the shortcut process where the police going to issue directly, it's going to come to the point that you're saying drug lords going to have a firearm. Because if it comes to the board, you have to go through scrutiny. You have to be examined by several persons, and that board member increases 6 persons under our watch. So we had a robust system. We had a robust system.
A robust system indeed, because many of you wouldn't know, but it's 60,000+ firearm licenses given away under the PPP, probably more than that. Firearm licenses that should not be given, should not have been given to persons, questionable individuals, drug lords, and all these folks have big guns, and they have some of them running security agencies. It's Guyana, right? It should not. We're ordinary citizens, or people who are legitimate businessmen and women are being denied access. I thought that maybe under the coalition that some of those gun licenses should have been revoked by individuals who should not have been given that, but that's another story. So are you at all, Mr. MP, and your colleagues in the coalition are worried about the increase of crimes? It seems as though every week you guys have to attend somewhere to extend condolences to the family. You guys have done that to the Boston family out there in Essequibo still awaiting justice. When it happened, a couple of days after, we mentioned the name of the alleged shooter, one by the name of Peters. Over 2 weeks, we have mentioned that. Nothing at all has happened. We are still awaiting word as to when that culprit, or whichever it is, whoever that culprit is, will be charged with murder of Boston. But you guys in the coalition have gone there. You've gone to Andre's home. You've gone to that young man that got killed in South. And now you went to this young man here today. It seems to be the norm whenever the PPP is in office. How traumatic it must be for you guys, Mr. M.
It is frustrating because we and even though the one in Barbie is a pandit guy that went in quarantine that I went on. So I've been on several of these visits from Barbies to Essequibo, end to end. We are visiting the family. The bosses we can do is to express our condolences to them and see whatever assistance we can give them. But it's getting crazy, and we are worried. We are worried because our citizens are not safe, Mark. That is what gets me so worried. You understand? Our citizens are not safe, and we are telling people to take precaution. You see suspicious activities, report to the police. But if you call the police, some people are complaining when you call, they're not answering. We saw one post up on Facebook the other day. They catch a criminal. The police station was handcuffed, locked with a handcuff. The policeman just PB, even if who were there. These kind of things are happening again. You saw the other video that released where the guy jumped the fence and took away the security guard and he was still sleeping. You saw that one, Mark?
Oh, yep, I saw that as well.
Security license the person who can't deal with it. Now that gun, they said I see something flashback that they cut back the gun. I doubt that they got back that gun. But you're not telling the population what's happening so they can be alerted. All you do is cover, cover, cover. When you cover and the citizens can't be aware, they're going to be oh, everything is okay. And it becomes a bit lackadaisical, you know how we operate. And next thing you know, you can't. Things happen.
They just can't do that. Lots of things happen. We're just going to stick it to that 1 hour this evening. We don't want to go 1 minute over. We know it's Sunday evening. Some of you want to go back and spend time with your family or take a quick shot of something, wine or whatever it is. Mr. MP, I know that you have time to spend with your family there as well. But one other question about the obvious political interference of the Guyana police force. We see that these policemen, some of them, they are known, are doing the political dirty works for these folks in the installed regime. What's the word on the ground? Because, from our standpoint looking in, it's damaging the entire police force. Citizens no longer have that much confidence in the police force, and it could lead to chaos. And when I say chaos, we don't want to go that route again. What is your take, Mr. MP?
Mark, I'm happy you brought that question up. Do you know how much work we have put in the last 5 years to build the trust of the people and the police together? You know how much work we put in? We even went to the UK government when we were restructuring the police force. When you had a report that came from the UK and we were trying to restructure the police force, to bring the professionalism back to the police force. It's not easy work, bro. It's not easy work. It's all a lot of work we have done to the police force to ensure that we remember the professionalism. Now, if you're going to be political interference, you're going to have deteriorating of the professionalism. People are not going to trust the police anymore. That's what you mentioned earlier, that police are the drivers and some bus and harassing the police and they got big scuffle. There are a lot of videos circulating. And one time I said, what the hell is happening? But because you're not acting in such a professional manner, and we come from the top to the bottom, you're going to have problems.
Lots and lots of problems. We're seeing it even disrespecting a man who served for 48 years in the Guyana police force. 48. Take a look at this. Paul Slow. Mr. Paul Slow served the Guyana police force, should have been commissioner of police. But because of vindictiveness by Jack Dale and those other folks in the PPP. Look at how a police, a junior rank who could never dream of serving the Guyana police force for 48 years as Paul Slow served. Look at how they treated Paul Slow. What is your take, Mr. MP, when you saw the treatment of Paul Slow?
Listen, Mark, that is very disrespectful. That's why. Mr. Parcel came in the country through the immigration, specifically to deal with this matter here. You could have hold him at the airport. He went through immigration test, you got to check him there. He went and go straight to the court, and then from there you're going to hold him, put him in lockup as senior police officer. He's not a criminal to be holding like that. You understand? And we are taking note of all the police officers who are taking instructions. You have a right sometimes to be professional and say, look, this is wrong. You got to stand up sometimes on these things. When are we going to do the right thing, Mark?
Dark days are ahead. I've noticed somebody said 37 years, but Paul Slow joined the Guyana Police Force sometime in 1973-74. And so it is 48 years, not 37, 48 years. Congratulations, Paul Slow, for that. And shame on those kunumunus in the Guyana Police Force who thought that they could disrespect a man who served this country, protect and serve in the Guyana Police Force for 48 years. All right. Mr. MP, like I said, I'm going to keep it close to that 1 hour that we promised the people. Your closing remarks, sir.
Mark, I wanted to tell our viewers that, to be a bit patient, and I mentioned in the last program, that I want you guys to understand and see what's happening in our country. In the last year, it's been chaos. Everything has been on the rise, as Mark said. If the food prices, if the food is items, the price has been increasing, crime is increasing, all kind of things, and that chaos here. The corruption is back in place. You guys will see the COVID catchment corruption, the flood relief corruption. You see the sugar workers have been protesting. They've been robbed of the weight of the sugar cane. We see monies have been paid to one set of persons and left the other side out. They're not a balance. They're not the equity distribution of resources in Guyana. These are the things that are happening there, and we have to be. You have to be supportive of us, because we are trying our best to highlight with you, bring all the issues, and everything. We are going left, right, and center. We're going because we don't know what's happening, how they are managing. So I would say there's very poor governance that's been happening for the last year. Very poor governance.
Poor governance indeed, Mr. MP. Very, very poor governance. To give them a rating from a scale of 1 to 10, I'll be very generous with them, Mr. MP, and our listeners. I'll be extraordinarily generous with them. I'll give them a 1.5. 1.5. MP, thank you so much for your time. I know you're no stranger to us. We call upon you anytime you're willing and ready to come on and talk about situations in the country. Sadly, it's always about some devastating event, some murder, some robbery, something. Thank you so much for your time,
Thanks,
sir.
Mark, and good evening to all, and good night to all our viewers. Thank you very much, Mark. Take care.
Thank you so much. Thank you, MP. All right. We have a former police officer, Keith Williams. How are you doing, Keith? Served the Guyana Police Force as well with distinction. Thank you so much. Paul Slow, between 1973-74, he joined the Guyana Police Force. So it will take it about 48 years of service to that nation. 48 years of service. 48 years. 48 years. We have some very lively comments from some folks there. All right, so here's one other thing that I need to address before I go. I'll go back to this confession, this alleged confession, which is no confession, because any lawyer, any real defense lawyer, any real lawyer, and I'm talking about real lawyer, not individuals who probably brushed through law school, or probably who didn't even take the bar exams and pomposetting themselves as lawyers, but real lawyers. I'll say this, though. I'll say this. Before I close, I want to say something about this unprofessional way in which the police, those police behave by recording this guy, this alleged murderer, by recording him and posting the video on social media and claiming it to be a confession statement. Those of you, maybe we have some police officers or former police officers watching, like my friend Keith Williams. What this guy did there on the bench when the police ask him a question is no confession. It is not tantamount to any confession at all. But I'll get back to that shortly. Now let's get to this guy here. I've noticed that, oops, we actually have on the same color shirt, right? That's Mr. Mark Light. He's the president of the Guyana Teachers Union. Here is what is, they're back to this again. I'm tired of this. Teachers Union renews call for meeting with president. Why renew calls to meet with president? Are they talking about the president of some other organization? Which president? Why renew call to meet with somebody who doesn't want to meet with you guys? You guys were on the streets. You were there in the streets. You were protesting. I don't know who called off the protest, why you guys called off the protest. Now you're no longer protesting. And then y'all basically down on y'all knees begging to meet with Irfan Ali. If Irfan Ali wanted to meet with you guys, he would have a while now. But the fact is, he doesn't want to meet with you guys. But here it is, y'all still renewing calls for meeting with Irfan Ali. The man simply doesn't want to meet with you guys. I don't know why you guys called off that protest action or whatever it is that you call it. I just don't know why. Now look how you guys are looking, begging for a meeting. I don't know, man. Mr. Mark Light, I don't know. I don't, this is not good. This is certainly not good at all, Mr. Light. Certainly. I wish to have Mr. Light on this show so that maybe we can talk and find out what's happening. Why call the protest off or whatever action, call it off, but now complaining that Irfan Ali doesn't want to meet with you guys. Irfan Ali doesn't want to meet with you guys. I don't know. Make him meet. Force him to meet. Just force him to meet. Don't complain that he's not meeting. Force him to meet. Gosh. I'll give you a buzz later, Mr. Light. Come on the show. Let's talk. You got on an orange shirt. I have on an orange shirt. I don't know. But my orange shirt is a different orange shirt. All right? It's not that kind of orange shirt. All right. So let's get back to this guy before I go. Oh, sorry. Before I get back to that guy, I want to remind you guys about something that's coming up tomorrow. Yeah. It's already tomorrow. It's already Monday in the UK. Those of you who are in the UK, here is your opportunity. Here is your opportunity. Right? Here is your opportunity to go out and protest. It's going to be in front of the Guyana High Commission in London. The Guyana High Commission in London tomorrow, starting from 4 p.m. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 p.m. Take a note, all of you who are in the UK, or if you have family members in the UK, ask them to go out and support this protest. Walk with a placard and write anything you want to write on that placard. Even if you want to write uncertainty on that placard, write uncertainty. Just ensure that you spell uncertainty correctly. And even if you want some other stuff to put, even if you want to put orgasm on a protest, on a placard, just put it. But go out in the UK there, in front of the Guyana High Commission in London, right? You see the address there. Go out and protest. Join the protest action. Tomorrow, Monday, that is Monday. It's already Monday in the UK. Okay, mate? So you guys go out and protest, carry a placard, and let those people know at the High Commission. In fact, we will carry it live right here on 107.1 FM. We will carry that protest live. Even if it's one person, two persons, three persons, we will carry it live, right? Also, from 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, Nigel Hughes will be having a press conference about the judicial system, a press conference, and the 5+ years of a man who was incarcerated for murder And guess what? The DPP has admitted, Chambers has admitted that they had from the start, from the get-go, no evidence against the accused. Absolutely no evidence. So 11 o'clock right here tomorrow morning, tune in. You'll be hearing Nigel Hughes and others at that press conference. But tomorrow, 4 p.m., don't forget, UK, 4 p.m. UK time, head out there in front of the Guyana High Commission's office in London and protest, protest, protest. Now let's get to what this guy is saying concerning the, welcome back, concerning the confession. Keith Williams is a former police officer, and he is a real police officer. He was a real police officer. Here's what he said about the confession, the alleged confession. And he's correct. The alleged confession cannot stand up in court because he was not cautioned and advised of his rights. You have the right to remain silent. You also have the right for a lawyer. Blah, 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 blah. All the police did is that they whoop out their phone and video the man and say, so what you do? So when you go in there, what happened? You know, so what you did? And the guy said, me no know, me no even know what me do. All me know that when me thing and I don't know. Then one of the other police, the police that was videoing say, so you joke him with the knife. He said, me no know what happened after. That is how the guy got. The guy said, me no know what happened after. Me no know who joke him. Now, we have also heard that he got one joke straight to the neck. I don't know. And again, I don't want to be insensitive towards the family. If family members want justice, but we've got to get to the bottom of this thing. The alleged murder accused said that he joke him up with this knife. That the young man that was murdered, Chris Prasad, had this knife, a small knife. Now we have to find out whether it's a small knife or whether it's a big knife or whatever. What we also have to find out, because we are told that the premises, the business place, has cameras. Hopefully we'll find all of those answers there as to whether that guy is the actual guy who got into that fight. But what we know is that he was allegedly found with Chris Prasad's chain, gold chain. Now, the other thing there, and this is embarrassing because maybe the police should not have videoed him like that, because lots of contradictions there. He got on one set of clothes. Then they asked him, whose clothes is that? He said, me one. And then they asked him who other stuff, who he was with. He never been with nobody, but yet he was with somebody. He saw somebody on a bicycle, and he asked them for a drop. Something isn't adding up. I don't know. Am I the only one who is seeing this thing this way? Or are you guys also seeing it the same way that I'm seeing it? Again, let's get back to the media is grounds for voir dire, a trial within a trial, to make it inadmissible, to make that confession inadmissible. And you are correct, Mr. Williams, because that is not a legitimate confession. That is just a guy who was placed on a bench and talking all sorts of things. And you can tell from his facial expression and his body language that he was under the influence of something. I don't know. Under the influence of something. Talking incoherently. Some blah, blah, blah in. He certainly didn't know what he was saying. He certainly, in my opinion, appeared as though he was covering up for somebody. It's not adding up. It is not adding up. It is not a confession. It is not. And those, if I were the commissioner of police, I am not. Only God knows why I'm not. But if I were the commissioner of police, I would have reprimanded those police men and women who were there videoing that guy and posted that video on social media. They're the ones who need to be reprimanded, because that was not a proper way to conduct an interview and call it a confession. It is not a confession statement at all. And in any court of law, it will be inadmissible, meaning they will not admit it, because it was conducted in an improper, illegal manner. That's all I wish to say on that. But the other thing, though, before I go, I do hope that the family gets justice. And I also do hope that that suspect, this suspect, is the correct person. I hope that he is the correct person. His report is conflicting. His utterances do not add up. Again, that is just my opinion. And let me say congratulations to the opposition folks for going out there. And there's a reason why I'm saying congratulations, because they need to be congratulated. They are going out. They're busy, albeit under these unfortunate circumstances. They're going out there. And I can see that some of them are busy. And I salute and respect those who are busy going out there and doing what they ought to do. Now, let us look at some other folks who are busy. Some other folks who are busy. Look, you see, Anil Nandalal is busy. Anil Nandalal is also busy. But let me explain why this is hypocritical of Anil Nandalal. I want you guys to come closer because I want to speak to you in a way that you can understand that I'm not playing politics with this family who are currently going through what the members of this family who are going through a traumatic period, pain, and all these things in losing a loved one, especially someone so young, 21 years old, Christopher Prasad, killed by bandits. Anil Nandalal is shaking hands with this guy, the father of Chris Prasad. And the man is saying, the businessman is saying that he has applied for a gun license since 2003. 2003. I don't know why his application was ignored. I don't know why his applications were denied. I don't know why he was never given any proper reason, any proper answers as to why. I am told that he has never received a letter of acknowledgement, none whatsoever. It is a shame, it's a disgrace, and if I were Anil, and thank God I can be Anil, because I have two, not one. So I can be Anil, mind you. I would have been ashamed to walk into that yard and shake that man's hands, when in fact 18 plus years he has been waiting for a gun license. I don't know. But then again, the PPP doesn't have shame. They just do not have any shame. Let me say good evening to some of you. Roxanne Best, good evening. I know I owe you a phone call. You yourself, Roxanne, you are awaiting justice for the murder of your son. Lots of folks are still awaiting justice. Lots of folks are awaiting justice. You know, I notice here Tulsi. Tulsi is saying something which is true, factual. We all know this, and thank you for that reminder, Tulsi. Raise not to the right person, that's why. Correct. You give the right person raise, so it is said. And guess what? You give the right person raise, and you get your stuff. You get your gun license. You give the right person raise, you get your gun license. It's a sad case, sad case that's happening in Guyana when drug lords and all these different folks, check some of them who operate, what is it? Check some of them who operate security agencies, security firms, and these things. Check them out. Check some of those security guards. Some of them are ex-policemen. Check their background. Some of them killed a couple of people, all sorts of things, and they're now security guards. I don't know. Don't forget, 4 p.m. tomorrow, Monday, UK time in London, 4 o'clock, protest in front of the UK High Commission. We will carry it live right here on 107.1 FM. Anything else before we go? Good night, Ms. Booker. Everyone in Buxton is in the house. But guess what? I've got to go. 1 hour. I promise you guys 1 hour. I see you guys are building up. The audience is building up now. But I've got to go. Before I go, let me show you guys this bridge. PPP bridge. PPP bridge. When the coalition painted their bridge green and yellow and whatever it is, we understand colors of the Guyana flag, but we also understand why it's being done. We have problems, at least I have problems when the coalition did it, and I'll continue to have problems when these vagabonds who are installed, who have been installed when they do it, I have serious problems with it. And if I were to walk on that bridge to cross that trench, I prefer to plunge into that trench, blujung, and swim over than to walk on that bridge. I'm serious about that. I'd rather walk or swim across in that mud trench, that mud water. If I have a car, I'd rather heist the car over. Heist that car over. Shame on these people. Shame on them. What's that? Oh, that's a book by a pastor. When it's out, we'll talk a little more about that. What is this? This is the firewoman being given a token of appreciation by Trevor Benn, the head of the Guyana Public Service Credit Union, of which she is a member also. Congratulations to that. Congratulations to that brave firewoman. I do hope she is given the key to the city. So, Mr. Mayor of Georgetown, if you're listening, do meet with this young lady and give her the key to the city. Foreigners have gotten the keys to the city, the key to the city. Why can't she? She is our local hero. All right, hey, I'm out of here. I got to jump in a minibus and clear out of here. I'll leave you with this here, this song, our favorite. Don't forget to go out at Brewster's Ice Cream, support them. Quality Food Mart, support them. Andrew's Supermarket, I heard that the folks listen to us all the time in that supermarket. Go out and support Andrew's Supermarket. Here is a song by Saiku Andrews, the owner of Andrew's Supermarket. I've got to go now. See you guys tomorrow, 11 o'clock with our press conference. And around 12 o'clock or so, we will carry that protest out there in the UK tomorrow, 12 o'clock. But the protest starts 4 p.m. UK time. And the difference is about 4.5 to 5 hours, right? So I've got to go. Here is this for you. Bye-bye. God bless you all. And God bless our beautiful country. So long.
It's hard to be at peace with the ones who are so discard. It's hard. Them have a knife in your back and them smile it so broad. Help me to deal with the ones them who said them love me when them really don't. Help me to deal with the fans them kill me flesh when the crowd are shout. Jesus, help me on the battlefield. Jesus, help me on the battlefield. Help me on the battlefield. God, the booby traps with them set is real. I never want to take your glory, Lord. Send your angels to encamp around about me and stand guard. To envy is so easy and to love it is so hard. Let me work for your glory and not for the award. Don't make me ever get caught up in the scream and the applause. And go talk about the blessing and not talk about the Lord. All these things are vanity. I need your reward. Let me be real. Don't put on no facade. Help me to deal with the ones them who said them love me when them really don't. Help me to deal with the fans them give me flesh when the crowd are shout. Jesus, help me on the battlefield. Jesus, help me on the battlefield. Help me on the battlefield. God, the booby traps with them set is real. Sticks and stones can break my bones and words can harm me. They can harm me. When the evil come against me, you'll protect me. You'll protect me. Father, I need the strength of your son, cause you know my work is not done. Lord, I need that endurance just to finish this race that I run. Help me to deal with the ones them who said them love me when them really don't. And help me to deal with the fans them kill me flesh when the crowd are shout. Jesus, help me on the battlefield. Jesus, help me on the battlefield. Help me on the battlefield. Cause the booby traps with them set is real. You tell me if you stand firm, cause every little plan you have a confirm. I know them evil plan turn. In a darkness me a the lantern. So help me to deal with the ones that who said them love me when them really don't. Jesus, help me to deal with the fans them kill me flesh when the crowd are shout. Help me on the battlefield. Jesus, help me on the battlefield. Help me on the battlefield. Cause the booby traps with them set is real. Help me to deal with the ones them who said them love me when them really don't. Help me to deal with the fans them kill me flesh when the crowd are shout. Jesus, help me on the battlefield. Jesus, help me on the battlefield. Help me on the battlefield. Cause the booby traps with them set is real. Help me to deal with the ones them who said them love me when them really don't. Help me to deal with the fans them